Well, stateless and persistent workloads. So when customers start their Kubernetes journey, they often start with stateless application, meaning these applications are being managed in the Kubernetes cluster, but they don't maintain any persistent data. So they get data from somewhere, processes, and then send it to somewhere else, and somewhere is not inside the Kubernetes cluster. When this works well for many customers, they also start putting some low priority stateful workloads on their cluster, so meaning the first Postgres databases, Cassandra, MongoDBs and stuff like that. And then they experience that storage in Kubernetes is different from storage they might know from their existing environments. But they start with CSI provisioners and do these classical things, so every Kubernetes platform brings some storage with it. And when it comes to, let's say, stage 3 in a Kubernetes journey, this means we get critical workloads onto the clusters. And this is the point where Portworx comes into play, because usually at this point people think about high availability, encryption, data mobility and all this stuff. And this is a very important point to know that there's a solution for doing all this stuff within the Kubernetes environment. So the importance for container native storage is that it's natively to a Kubernetes cluster. So it needs to be managed and consumed with Kubernetes native ways. And this is a big difference in comparison to, let's say, S3 storage, which people often think is cloud storage. But the more important point here is when you attach storage to a containerized environment, so today mainly speaking about Kubernetes, it also needs to be managed like Kubernetes native elements. And we think it's not sufficient to, let's say, directly access hardware arrays when you run a Kubernetes environment, because this breaks with all ideas of scalability and abstraction, virtualization and all these pieces. So it's important to have this solution within the cluster being managed with Kubernetes native ways, and this is like Portworx works. So we are controlled by an operator, we are managed using YAML specs, and you can put this all into your GitOps repos, so that's just cloud native. Yeah, when it comes to self-service for container storage, it's also about developer experience and developer productivity. Just think about automated pipelines who do software testing, scale testing and all this stuff. So you need also for your persistent workloads a storage backend which automatically scales, which can scale like other Kubernetes applications, which are managed like other Kubernetes applications. So we are heavily focused on this developer experience, developer productivity. So one of our benefits is that storage from a consumer perspective, who is usually the developer or the teams working for the application, always looks the same with Portworx, no matter where your Kubernetes cluster is running or which Kubernetes distribution you are running. So just think of it, you need just one time establish all the ways how to manage storage, how to consume storage, and it can be done the same on each and every of your environments. What makes Portworx unique is Portworx is the only solution in the market which covers all the relevant topics for storage, meaning HA, disaster recovery, encryption, all these pieces, and it's completely independent from the underlying infrastructure. So we work on each and every Kubernetes infrastructure, on each and every cloud, and this is a very important point. So this sets the base for your for you running workloads within every cloud, without having any vendor lock-in or cloud lock-in. So this opens the whole cloud world for you. Now, with having all storage issues solved, we can look forward and think about how this storage is consumed and who is consuming this storage. And covering this means we could think about how database workloads, how data analytics workflows are being deployed on clusters. And we already did this. So with Portworx Data Services, we offer a control plane which enables your developer to do a self-service not only for the storage, but for the databases and data services that they actually need. Because usually a developer does not need storage, he wants to run an application. And if he uses standard application for databases, for data analytics, he will use Postgres, MongoDB, MySQL and all this stuff. And now it's about thinking about how efficiently to deploy these data services to the clusters. And that's what Portworx Data Services does. So we launched this product last year, and we see a lot of success in this. And looking ahead, it's more about how to run applications consuming the storage rather than just providing the storage.